19th of February, there's 8 days, and there's a lot of interest going on, a lot of interest. Speaking of interest, ODM politics, Waziri. Is ODM on its deathbed?
Jeff, let me make this very clear, that after the death of Raila, I don't think anyone expected that it would be smooth sailing. There had to be turbulence. So what ODM is going through is turbulent times. But the ODM being on its deathbed, this has been said of ODM so many times. This is not the first time. I have heard ODM being on its deathbed from the time the Pentagon members left, the time Babu left, the time so many people have been putting ODM on deathbed. But ODM has always come out very strong, and it remains the strongest party in this country, which has outlived all the other political parties, including Mama na Baba, the Independence Party. ODM has the second largest membership in both houses of parliament, and even in the Council of Governors, and only compared to UD. And remember, almost after elections, the parties that form the government come out like they're the biggest party. But again, ODM then overtakes them in the next election. So I'm not wishing any bad luck to UDA, because they are now our partners and we are working together. But ODM will outlive any other political party in this country. And I will tell you that ODM has just won 3 critical parliamentary seats. After the death of Baba, we won the seat at the coast, remember?
Yes.
Magarini, my friend, won Kombe, won overwhelmingly. In fact, beyond, actually, the person who followed him got less than 50% of his votes. Yet, in the last general election, he won with about 46 votes against the same candidate, who decided now to decamp from UDA and go to DCP. And because of the wrong choice of the party, it was disaster. Now, you come to Kasipul, again, it was overwhelming win for our candidates as members of ODM. And Jeff, I'm still a member of ODM.
You're 100% there.
And I'm 100% there. And then Ugunja the same. So this is not a party that you are saying is dying anytime soon. This is a very resilient party, very strong. And I will tell you, in 2027, what ODM needs is just stability. And people who really believes and knows where we want to go to, and who are honest about the future of the party. Not these talks about we have to field a presidential candidate. You know, a presidential candidate cannot be amorphous. Someone must come up. So if you want to be a presidential candidate, come forward and tell us, I'm a member of ODM number such and such, life member, I want to be a presidential candidate. I will consider you. Yeah. I will think about you. But this amorphous talk that, oh, ODM is the biggest party, we must form the government, those are rhetorics. We need real politics, hard politics on the ground, Jeff. But some of us are used to hard politics,
correct,
real ones.
Correct.
Not theoretical, not book politics.
Kwa ground.
Not academic politics.
Kwa ground.
Ground.
Mambo ni tofauti.
Completely.
Tell me something. Is ODM stable under Oburu Odinga?
Let me tell you, I think ODM could not have gotten a better choice than Oburu Odinga. And Oburu will never be Raila. He's not Raila. Raila had built his stature over the years. From the time he was in prison for so many years, to the time he went to exile, he came back. He has been in the trenches and suffered, and braced the tear gas and all that, and has won election many times, denied the win. And Raila Odinga had a way of communicating here, traversed this country. That's not Oburu. Oburu has taken a different route. He has been in politics almost as long as Raila has been. He's Raila's elder brother. But I will tell you, Oburu is a very stabilizing factor. When you see Oburu now get worked up, you must know that things have really gone into, to his nerves. Oburu, first, one thing that you need to know with Oburu is a very sharp and intelligent mind, very keen listener. And by the way, Raila used to rely a lot on Oburu's advice. Those of us who have been close to Raila, we know that. And even this broad-based government that we have today, it was negotiated by Oburu. Oburu was the chairman of the, he was leading the team that Raila tasked with the responsibility.
That's why he wants to stay in it through 2027.
Because he knew he made the right decision by advising Raila that they should be there in the broad-based government. And he knows why Raila chose to go into the broad-based government. So he probably understands this better than many of us. And so I know that Oburu is a character that can steer the party.
At 82.
But there are people who have steered this party. Raila was steering the party and he turned 81. So what's the difference? It's 1.5 years. And we expected Raila to steer it. In fact, no one expected Raila to die. So Raila could have steered this party to 2027 and even beyond.
When are you all going to hand over to the next generation?
That handover will come, Jeff. You can't force handover. You know, let me tell you, leadership is not something that you just wake up and announce yourself, that now it's not Baba, it is mbadi. It doesn't work that way. Leadership comes, and it comes pole-pole. And I will tell you, when the time comes, you can't resist it. When Jaramogi died, there were so many characters. There were so many people. There were so many experienced politicians. Yeah. I remember that time, Jeff, when Raila died. Well, Paul Mwite and Gitopo Imanyara had just technically left the party. But we had Wamalwa Kijana, we had Ouma Moga, we had Raila Odinga, we had James Orengo, we had Anyang' Nyong'o, we had Mukisa Kitui. You can name it. There were so many people. Experienced, I mean, well, they were young, but fairly experienced. And by the way, Raila was not even ranking top if you look at the composition of people who were in Fort Kenya. But yes, the acting party leader was was pronounced immediately. That was Jana Wamalwa.
Yes.
But later, his deputy was Orengo. And those of us who believed that Raila would lead us better, we prompted Raila, and Raila ended up not leading Fort Kenya, but formed this party, NDP. And those of us who had like minds joined him, and NDP defeated Fort Kenya in the 1997 election. I came number 3 after Kibaki and President Moi.
Do you see history?
So that's how Raila became the leader of the party and of a bigger constituency. Today it is Oburu. I don't know for how long he will lead the party. Ni Mungu ndiye anajua. In fact, there are people who think because he's too old, he will leave it for a short time. God knows when the time we have in this world. I remember, Jeff, there was one time in 2002, one parliamentary candidate said in a funeral that the MP, the outgoing MP then, who was unwell, was going to die, so there was no need of voting for him. The gentleman did not see the election. That was 2002. And the guy he said would die is today still alive. 2026. Yes. 24 years later, and it's still very strong, I will tell you. So, you know, who is going to die when is God's prerogative. Yeah. Now, Oburu will lead this party, during which time another leader, a younger leader, will emerge. And that younger leader will not just emerge in a day. Even Raila, by the way, did not take over from immediately after the death of the father. It took him about 2 years plus. From 1994, January, when Jaramogi died, to 1996, December. And even after that, it was not proved until the general election of 1997 that Raila had taken over a huge chunk of the Jaramogi followers.
What do you think?
So it will take some time.
What do you think of Winnie?
What do I think of Winnie? She's Raila's daughter.
That's it?
Yeah.
Can she take over ODM one day?
Does she want to take over ODM? You know, leadership is not something that you force on someone. If I don't want to take over leadership or I don't want to be in leadership, you can't force me. Winnie is a young, strong-willed girl. And right now she's an MP, East African Legislative Assembly. She can build herself, depending on how she plays her politics, and get either back to the local scene, maybe win a parliamentary seat or win a gubernatorial or whichever seat she's interested in. I've never shared with her. Then later on, she can be somebody big. You don't have to lead ODM. You can be somewhere in the party. I've led ODM as a chairman of the party, not as a party leader. She could come in as an official of the party.
Then work her way up.
And if members agree, then she will be there.
Look, with Sifuna's exit, do you see the floodgates opening for desertion, if you will?
You know, sometimes, Jeff, when people are still causing some disquiet in the party and all that, they seem to be having massive and huge following. But the moment they leave, you may not find or see much exodus. But again, we are in a democratic society. Some people may follow and fall out. That is normal, that is accepted. What I would advocate for as a strong member of the party is that we must have discipline in the party and focus. So that even if we are few, then we should know how many we are, as opposed to having a bus of so many people who are working at cross purposes and therefore not adding much value. When Babu left or was about to leave ODM, we were told Babu had a huge, massive following, and that if he left, he would leave with so many people. Do you know what happened to Babu? He ended up losing Budalangi parliamentary seat to Wanjala. Cool. So I don't know the fate of these politicians. Let them be courageous enough and operate outside ODM, and we see.
But you know what? Baba, the late Baba, was like a godfather to Edwin Sifuna. He always protected him at every turn.
He protected many of us. He was a godfather of many of us. Jeff, I don't know, maybe it's not something I would say, but I know how Baba almost felt about each one of us.
You do know?
I know. If there's one person I understood very well is Raila Odinga. By the way, of all the senior officials of ODM, no one stayed longer with Raila than me.
Come on.
Yeah, from the time I was a student, 1992, to the time he departed, I was very close to him. I know many people will say they have been close to Raila. Yeah. Many of us have been.
Everyone says that.
But I will tell you, in terms of party leadership and party management, allowing me to chair his party for 11 years and as a party leader is not a main achievement, a main feat. And during that time, there's a lot that we shared. And I will tell you, I understand Raila very well. That's why when he told me to not to run for gubernatorial seat, I could accept. Many people would have not done that. Yeah. Many people would have gone independent. But I didn't. Because I know, Jeff, that if you are there are positions that if you are holding, or if you hold, then you have a responsibility bigger than self-interest. You may not like it. I didn't like it. Everybody knows that I didn't like the decision that Baba made to ask me to drop out of the gubernatorial race. I actually wanted him to allow us to go to the nomination, and if I lost, I would graciously support the winner. Yeah. But you see, I was a chairman of the party, the chairman of the party, with a huge responsibility. So I had to put aside my personal interests and go for the wider interests of the party. That is what I expected Sifuna to do. SG of a party is not a small position. You are not one of the secretaries in the county or at the branches. You are the Secretary General of the party.
Are you disappointed in Sifuna, the outcome of
Very disappointed.
Where he was heading?
Very disappointed. Let me tell you, I know how Sifuna got into that position. Yes, he was actually not the favorite.
Come on.
He wasn't.
Who was?
We sat with Baba and agreed.
Who was the favorite?
He wasn't the favorite. The favorite was, now I'm forgetting this gentleman's name, but I will tell you. He is also a lawyer. He's a very controversial guy. Yeah, I'm just forgetting his name. How could I forget this?
How can you forget?
But I will tell you another time. That was a favorite. And you ask Nabina Bwera. They made noise when we made... the Western delegates didn't want to hear of Sifuna at Orange House. What? When National Governing Council was meeting to put him as SG. But Bad thought through and said, we need someone who is a very, very strong... Wafula Buke. That's the guy I was looking.
Yes, Wafula.
Yes. So let me tell you, my friend Jeff, we wanted Sifuna to be Secretary General. We had, that time he was even younger. Today is a bit moderated. You remember even how he took over the position. He actually, when he was taking over this position, it was a coup.
Like a coup, yes.
And he said, Babu Namwamba is saying he has been given an unloaded gun. He should load it. I will load the gun myself. And went and almost literally kidnapped the party headquarters. But we told him to relax. And we saw someone with enthusiasm who could run the party. But when he started, we saw some kind of challenges. And we sat down with him and told him, my friend, now you are the Secretary General of the party. You shouldn't contradict. There was a time he contradicted me twice or thrice. And of course, I was communicating decision from the party leadership. And he contradicted me about twice or thrice, and Baba reprimanded him quietly in our meetings. And then he relaxed. Later we found a formula we could work. I understood him also, that he was a young man coming with a lot of energy. But now I expected him to now have outgrown all these other whatever, and became a Secretary General who would be humble enough to accept that there are things that you can say in rallies and things that you can say in the boardroom. There are a lot of things we disagreed a lot in that party, even sometimes telling Baba that we don't agree with you on this. And by the way, we changed Baba's opinion on a number of things in the party. Contrary to what people thought, that Raila Odinga was a dictator, he wasn't. Actually, if there was any leader who was very consultative when it comes to managing party affairs, it was Raila Odinga. But once we agreed that this is the direction we are taking, and a lot of those decisions, some of them were very unpopular at the beginning. But as we moved on, people saw the sense and the need. So if party has taken a position, in my view, even if you feel it is a wrong one, either you support the position of the party or then you exit. So I am fairly disappointed, because I thought, as the longest serving chairman of the party, we were leaving a party that was cohesive enough that even in the absence of Baba, we would still have the party running smoothly.
It seems like you're disappointed in the young Turks, you know, the Babu Owinos, the Winnie Odingas, these Edwin Sifunas. You know, those are the young Turks. That's the future of the party.
No, I'm not disappointed with the young people. There are so many young people in the party as well. That party, by the way, doesn't just have those names. We have even the youth league in the party, and they're doing a fantastic job. I don't see, well, I may disagree with some sentiments, but what I don't agree with is showing disrespect to the party. And as I say, Jeff, not that we agreed with all the decisions of Raila Odinga as a party leader, but once a party leader, and the constitution of the party is clear, once a party leader communicates, especially in cases of forming alliances, that responsibility rests with the party leadership, the party leader. Then you need to show some decorum and respect. When you come here and start questioning how Oburu Odinga was made party leader, and you know that the processes have been followed. Because when the party leader passes on, or any party official, the way to replace that is through NEC. And then NEC proposes to National Governing Council. Then National Governing to NDC. And ODM, in filling the position of Baba, took the matter to NEC immediately. And NEC resolved. And most of the membership of NEC, the attendance was overwhelming. Then it went to National Governing Council at the coast, and they ratified. So they were waiting now for NDC to endorse that decision. And then you are questioning. So what did you expect the party to do? And you are the Secretary General of the party. The other disappointment that I had is where he collects people who are basically left the party, technically. One was named the other day as Secretary General of Azimio. We all know where we stand with Azimio. The Azimio that is remaining, or the Azimio they were talking about, I may say, is Azimio which is now controlled by Kalonzo Musyoka. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua, who has never been part of Azimio, is also there. Uhuru Kenyatta, and all these people, we are not aligned with them as a party. Or at least Baba left when he was not aligned with them. And it was not a secret. I hear people saying, Baba didn't say this, Baba said this. But at least I know, because it is public, that Baba had an arrangement with William Ruto to work in broad-based government up to 2027. That is not in dispute. And he chose it himself. And we ratified as a party. Now, when you collect these people, you bring in Onyonka, who is talking about Matiang'i being president, and is not part of us. Matiang'i has never been part of us. He doesn't share any ideology with us. I've heard them say that Ruto and the UDA is not sharing any ideology. Ruto was the deputy party leader of ODM. At least he shared ideology with us. Matiang'i has never been with us. He has never shared anything with us. And Kibagendi, all over the place with him, Sifuna. And what they were saying was to attack the party leader and the party leadership. If that is the young Turks, and then you find one of the young Turks called some of us Shenzi. You know, Jeff, I put it this way. I may be Shenzi, but I'm not a drug addict. That at least I know. Asubuhi, I don't smoke bangi. Mchana, I don't smoke bangi. Jioni, I don't smoke bangi. So you call me Shenzi. That my Shenzi has not taken me to smoking, to taking drugs, which would destroy you and your thinking as a leader. So we all have weaknesses. I may be shenzi, but you are also a drug addict, and we know it.
Tell me something. Were you part of the delegation that went to India to bring back Baba's body?
No, I was in the U.S. By the way, Jeff, Baba passed on when I went for the spring meeting of the World Bank and IMF.
And you couldn't leave it?
Immediately I heard that Baba died, I had to take the next flight. In fact, I had in the morning, which was now almost daytime here, and left in the evening, which was night here.
Yes.
And came in straight to Nairobi because I couldn't catch up with them in India. And I arrived here in the morning.
When was the last time you had spoken to Baba before he passed?
I spoke to Baba about 2 weeks before he passed on, but unfortunately, Baba really looked for me over that weekend. There was something that I was working on for him, and he looked for me over that weekend. Only managed to get my wife twice. He couldn't get me because I think he was trying to reach me on WhatsApp. People who know me know my troubles with WhatsApp. So I was in the village, then I was told he was looking for me. I tried to call him, he didn't pick. Then again, he was looking for me again through my wife's phone, and then didn't find me. My wife was in Nairobi, I was in the village. When I came back, I tried to call him again, I didn't find him. So we spoke about 2 weeks before, 1.5 weeks before he died.
Listen, there's a question real quick. Someone is asking, is the Kenya Meat Commission, KMC, any plans to privatize that?
We can't announce the state-owned enterprises that we are intending to privatize until we make that decision, because that would affect.
I'll take that as a yes.
No. Jeff, you are putting a yes on my mouth. I mean, you know, Jeff, that is not right. You are a dictator.
Naeem, on your broad base,
yes.
You guys are really determined to stick to it, aren't you?
Is there another viable option? You see, Jeff, the truth is that no political party can now win power in this country without forming alliances. In forming alliances, you must look at the partners and align yourself and think of how to align yourself with them. Now, if you look at the landscape today, we have just two main blocks. There is this broad-based side, and of course we have the opposition side, if you may, hoping they will hold to election. Baba decided to start this broad-based government. Now, we are in there. And we are doing our best in there, including myself, in terms of executing my mandate. But then you look at the other side, the people, the person we have worked with the other side is Kalonzo. And we have also worked with Matiang'i in the last election, of course, with a lot of disappointments in my view. If you ask me, another time I will talk about it.
Yes.
So now, but you see, you can have very delicious meal, but if someone comes and pours urine in it, you can't eat it. Yeah? Even if you have fish.
Who pissed on your food?
Now you have Gachagua there, and then how do you join that team? Gachagua, whose mind is fixed in one region. Yeah? One region. He's just thinking one region, from morning to evening to night to every other day. And we are a country of different regions. We are a country of multiple ethnic groups. We are a country that has lived the way we are, with all our challenges, harmoniously. A country that has come out of very tough times. So, with the presence of such a figure, in that arrangement, it becomes very difficult, even to think of working with that grouping.
Waziri, great answers. Thank you so much for your time. Before we let you go, there's a lot of feedback coming in on Twitter and on SMS, coming in thick and fast. Ayub?
Yeah, plenty.
You want to take it away?
Yes, many in form of questions, observation.
First one's an SMS, right?
Yeah. What do you want Kenyans to do regarding the KPC IPO?
KPC IPO is available for Kenyans. We want as many Kenyans as possible to invest in KPC. That is what we call sharing of wealth. We want the wealth of KPC to be shared by Kenyans. Remember the other day Kenyans were asking us, why haven't we put Safaricom for everybody to buy? Now we have put KPC. Let them buy.
Okay, next is from Jakipto, says, please ask CS Mbadi on behalf of government to give us and our leader Sifuna assurances that our Sunday gathering in Kitengela will be peaceful and goons-free. We are traveling from as far as Suba district to support Sifuna, Babu and others.
First of all, it doesn't come from Suba district. There is no district called Suba. I think because he thinks I'm a Suba, he wants to demonstrate that there are some Subas who will go for this rally. Anyway, it is a democratic society. I don't expect any problem. But they were in Busia the other day. I don't know whether there were goons there.
On Sunday.
But I can't guarantee that because I'm not in charge of security of the country.
Okay.
So they need just to inform the police station around, not to seek for permission, because now that is not a requirement in law.
Yeah.
They have to inform, write a letter to the nearest police station.
Tyson Lusimba says, CS, beyond announcing IPOs, what's your strategy to rebuild investor trust after past listings that disappointed the market, specifically on pricing, disclosure, and post-listing performance? And how will you protect retail investors from being used as exit liquidity for insiders?
You see, that is why the communication on this IPO has been very, very solid and sound. And you can see the public participation that has been involved. I think many people understand this IPO more than any other IPO, in my judgment. But again, already what we are seeing, we are not likely to have this disappointment because already we are getting oversubscription in many classes of the share. So it's just an appeal to Kenyans so that we broaden the ownership in KPC.
Okay, Andati says, ask somebody how a Kenyan earning 100,000 Kenya shillings gross salary due to his experience ends home with 60,000 Kenya shillings after deductions, can't even access good health, good education for the kids. Almost 40% goes to deductions. Do we work for the government?
By the way, taxation is a noble cause in any jurisdiction. And I will tell you there are some countries with even higher taxes. But I know where we have reached as a country that we need to do something about taxes. If you look at my proposal of exempting 30,000 to pay zero tax, up to 50,000 now, then additional 20,000 pays 25%, and then we go to 30%. You'll realize that 100,000, they are going to benefit quite significant gain out of this if you do the math.
Lakini lazima tulipe ushuru.
But lazima tulipe ushuru. You know, again, in terms, you know, is mixing the question. There is the question of taxation, which is a moral obligation, but there is also the question of the government having a moral obligation to protect the taxpayers' money. And these are two that have to be dealt with separately but collectively.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's next?
Okay.
Okelo Mwalimu. Is CS Mbadi aware that teachers and other exam officers haven't been paid for the work done last year? If so, what is the Treasury doing to settle this? Secondly, can he rate his performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
You know, in terms of that specific payment to teachers and other exam officers who have not been paid, I think that the Ministry of Education are able to deal with that. In my view, I think by now they should be paid. We are in February. I'm sure I will take that feedback to my colleague and counterpart. If there is any, because I think that was already budgeted for, so it doesn't have to come from the Treasury. But if there is any shortfall, then we'll discuss it at the government level. Now, in terms of my rating, it is difficult to rate myself. But by the way, let me tell you, I don't think I need to rate myself. Even external people have rated me. When they rate the economy to be doing better and improving, that's a rating on me also, as the CS National Treasury. So let him go to Moody's and get the rating. Okay. I don't have to put this 1 to 10. These are very subjective things. Okay. Kenyans know what I've done. And my appointing authority also knows what I've done.
Your appointing authority?
Yes.
What's the expected growth rate this year?
5.3%.
5.3?
Yeah, up from average of about 5%. Yes.
Okay.
Next.
Boxio says, asking somebody, does the government plan on reducing the pay as you earn for top earners?
Not really. We are not thinking of top earners. We are dealing with the people who are struggling at this base. You know, let me tell you, Jeff, if you're earning 500,000, you have already met all the basics. That's the truth. The rest of the money you will be earning to save and invest, which is also good. But we go for those who are surviving first. Yeah. Let's go to the junior people who are earning peanuts, 30,000, 50,000. Deal with that. Those of us who are earning